Hello, Nick Pulse here, and welcome to the first episode of the Talking Agility video series. The aim of this video series is just to talk about the various topics and concepts that help unlock business agility, and today's episode we're going to talk about OKRs. So OKRs stands for Objectives and Key Results, and is essentially a goal-setting framework that was developed by Andy Grove, who was the president of Intel back in the 1970s. And since then, many other large organisations and successful organisations such as Google, Atlassian, even the U2 singer Bono have used the OKR framework with great success. At its core, or at its essence, OKRs are intended to give a measurable signal of progress, and this is tracked on a frequent basis, ideally on a quarterly basis. The objectives, as part of the OKRs, the objectives is really the what. So the what we want to achieve, it should be concrete, it should be specific, and it should be ideally aspirational. We really want to stretch with our objectives. The key results, they should be more action orientated and really define the how we're going to achieve the objective, and are really smart. So the specific, measurable, action-orientated, realistic, and time-bound. So you shouldn't be left in any doubt on whether you've either achieved your key results or you haven't. So typically objectives are fairly long-lived and can persist for several quarters, if not several years, whereas key results should change as you move through them, as you achieve them, and as you learn more about where you're trying to go and how to try and get there. Typically, at the end of every quarter, you'd sit down and assess whether you have achieved or not achieved your key results that underpin your objectives. And how most organisations do that is assess their key results on a scale of 0.0 to 1.0, where somewhere in the range of 0.6 to 0.7 being the sweet spot. Because remember, we really want to stretch and really push ourselves to greatness. So let's dive into an example. Let's just say we're a GM of NFL American football team. Okay, I'm going to set the objective to be the most successful team in the NFL, and I'm going to underpin that with two key results. One, to win the Super Bowl, and two, to fill our home stands at 90% capacity throughout the year. Okay, so if we hit those two key results, I think we're likely to hit our objective of being the most successful sporting team in the NFL. So what I do as the GM of this NFL football team is I make my OKRs visible to the entire organisation. And what happens from there, we have the head coach and we have, let's just say, the president of marketing. They'll grab each of my key results, so to win the Super Bowl, to fill the stands with 90% capacity, and that will become their objective, and they'll underpin that with key results. So the head coach might have some key results around offense, defense, and special teams, and that will cascade down into their various different line coaches as their objectives, and then they'll have key results that underpin that. And similarly, over in the marketing side, each department within marketing may have a specific objective and key result that ties to the overall objective of marketing to attain that 90% capacity of home stands, and then linking that back up to the higher order objectives. So you can see very, very quickly we're gaining alignment and making sure that a complex ecosystem is moving in the same direction. So what I personally like about the OKR framework, as opposed to other goal-setting frameworks such as balanced scorecard or KPIs, is the fact that first and foremost, it's simple and agile. It's because we do this on a very frequent basis, ideally quarterly. We move through things quite quickly, and because it is a simple and agile process, cascading down, it means we're not spending too much time developing our objectives and key results. We're spending more time delivering against them, which is what we want. Second, it really encourages focus, alignment, and stretching within an organisation, which I think is really, really critical. Number three, OKRs are intended to be bi-directional, so it shouldn't be a purely top-down cascading approach like other traditional goal-setting frameworks. It's encouraged that every team and every individual has at least 50% of their OKRs based on or form themselves, if that makes sense. So about 50% should come cascading and 50% should be created within the team or by the individual itself. In terms of if you're looking to adopt or implement OKRs, some things to look out for is to firstly not overburden the process. It's simple and lightweight for a reason, because we want to spend more time delivering against the objectives and key results rather than creating them. So don't burden the goal setting framework with too many processes or forums. Secondly, don't tie it to performance measures. Remember, we want to create stretch in people, teams, and the organisation to achieve greatness. As soon as we put any remuneration rewards against this, it'll really discourage people from stretching themselves and will revert back to playing it safe. Third, it's important to get everyone on board with the OKR framework. Like any big change, having the people on board, including the leaders. Leaders are pivotal for change. Having everyone singing from the same hymn sheet, and making sure that the OKRs connect throughout the organisation is really, really important. Look, there's a lot more detail that we can go into. I could talk about this concept for a very long time. If you want to understand more about objectives and key results, I recommend you read John Doe's book around Measure What Matters. Really great read with lots of real life examples. If you want to try and have a crack at your own OKRs, please, I encourage you to do so. If you want any feedback, I'm happy to take a look at them and provide any advice I can. But yeah, good luck on your OKR journey. And that's really it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed this very short agility talk on OKRs. I'd love to hear what you thought about it in the comments section. I will also put forward in the comments section a couple of other proposed ideas for future video series, but would love to hear from you. I want to make sure that I'm talking about things that people want to hear about. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will be around soon, and until then, stay agile. Thank you.